Dear colleagues, Chairperson, the European People's Party, her political family congratulates to Marietta Purbach-Lundin to her original, human and empathic approach, which is, I believe, a highlight of her career in the Council of Europe. We are proud of her, as we are proud to politicians like Emanuele Zingeris, who is a credible politician in our ranks fighting neo-Nazism and political extremism. It is a serious political problem with the pan-European character, as the report suggests, and it requires a pan-European answer. And I believe that the Council of Europe should be a perfect laboratory of best practices in this regard. The key principle to me is that democracy should not be weak, and democracy should not tolerate extremism, but step up with all the state powers against it, obviously with the possible highest level of creativity. For this very reason, freedom of speech, for example, should not apply to hate speech. And above all, this type of approach should have a constitutional level regulation. And individuals in all member states should be able to file a civil lawsuit on this ground. And obviously parliaments should protect themselves against hate speech, tightening, for example, the House rules in this regard. Freedom of assembly shouldn't apply, in my conviction, to paramilitary troops. However, I agree with the rapporteur concerning the political parties. But political parties and paramilitary groups are totally different. And I believe that the example that in Hungary, for example, the criminal code has been tightened regarding the so-called uniformed crime to avoid intimidating the Roma and other national minorities is a positive example. And the freedom of the use of symbols, in my opinion, should not apply to the use of totalitarian symbols. And in this regard, the European Court of Human Rights should revise its case law in this regard to respect those member states who have restrictive regulations in this aspect. And finally, dear colleagues, as the report suggests, prevention, education, culture, memorial days, including the European Day of Victims of Hate Speech, are most welcome, and we should do our utmost to support Jewish, Roma, and minority cultures in Europe, because we are the continent of cultural diversity. Thank you very much for your attention.